Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by Money Stocks. Today is Friday, August 9th, 2013. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. We'll start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. You'll see that the futures are trading lower by 4 points right now to around 1689.5 per contract. It's fluctuating a little bit here, back and forth, but nonetheless, down about 4 points at the moment. You can see futures were down a little bit lower, just about 6 o'clock in the morning, but last couple of hours they have evaporated to the upside. Generally on a Friday, we look for a flat to slightly positive trading day. Rarely do we see a negative decline on a Friday of any magnitude. If we are down, it is just down slightly. This week the markets have struggled a little bit. Yesterday the markets did rebound up a little bit, staging first positive day in 3, but nonetheless the declines have been very, very minor and on very, very light volume. I suspect we're going to get light volume again once we hit the 11, 12 o'clock time frame this afternoon. So again, look for a little bit of action in the morning, but overall the markets will be pretty light going forward in the summertime. Now, if you take a look here, the one thing I think we should take note of is the dollar-yen chart. Dollar-yen is falling this morning, down by about 29 cents. Not a big major drop, but nonetheless you see it trading lower. When the dollar-yen does decline, that's an indication that the yen is strengthening versus the U.S. dollar. So that's a big carry trade there. That's where a lot of money comes from to buy the stock market. When this goes down, that money is no longer available to buy the stock market. That's why this chart is so important for every trader to follow. Right now, decent little dip. We'll see if that's affecting the market. Right now it is affecting the futures. If this can get a bid back up, then the stock market will come back up as well. So these two charts are very, very well correlated, very, very tightly correlated. Make sure you watch the U.S. dollar versus the Japanese yen chart, and you also watch the S&P. You'll see how tightly correlated it is. Right now, as we speak, you could see dollar yen is falling. This means the Japanese yen is strengthening. Okay, let's go into a few other things. Let's talk about the markets last night in Asia. Take a look at the Nikkei 225. It was not a good performance. Market rallied up, came right back down. Overall, last night the Nikkei was up decently for part of the session. I'll say at least at the start of the session, and then it only finished up less than 0.1%. So it was not a very good performance. The Shanghai Composite, which was a little bit different, they had a lot of economic news out last night. More and more people are not even believing any of the Shanghai news anymore. So you can see that held up pretty well for the most part. It wasn't a big up day by any means, but the Shanghai was up 0.3%. But more and more economists, traders are no longer believing any of the economic data that is coming out of China. But China is still holding firm, still below the 50 moving average, but still holding up at the moment. So we'll see how that plays out going forward a little bit later. Looking at a few other things here, there will be some economic news in the United States at 10 o'clock. I think it's June wholesale trade numbers will be released at 10 a.m. I'm not sure that's going to be a big market mover by any means. If we look across the pond into the European markets, what we will see is a flat market across the board. It looks like the Milan market, FTSE MIB, is trading a little bit lower. That's Italy, down about 0.25%. The FTSE 100, which is England, they can print their own money. The London market is trading higher by 0.4%, but the rest of Europe is basically flat today. Taking a look at JCPenney, that stock is in the news. Stock yesterday closed at around $13.66 this morning. You can see JCPenney's trading around $13.23. It looks like they don't have a successor for the CEO. There's conflict in the board. But Bill Ackman is pulling out all the stops to try to get this stock to go higher. But again, be very, very careful with this thing. It's still a walking disaster at the moment, and you do have the gang of at least two ganging up on Bill Ackman to drag him down. So War of the Whales, Bill Ackman versus Icahn. Right now, Ackman's just making really all the wrong moves at the moment. Maybe that will change in the future, but right now he's in a tough position trying to get JCPenney's off the floor. Looking at a few other stocks here, Priceline is in the news today. PCLN is the ticker symbol. Big move higher. The stock closed at $933 Today it's trading at $989. I would not be a buyer up here at all. It's overbought. Can it go a little higher, maybe touch that 1,000 level? That's a possibility. But don't touch this thing up here. It's just way, way too inflated, regardless of whatever the news was, whatever the earnings were. But a good reaction, at least at the moment. We're going to have some gap plays this morning. Another stock in the news is Monster Beverage, the old Hanson Natural. This stock is holding up pretty well considering its miss on earnings. But watch this one today. This could be a volatile mover. So this will be a stock I may be focused on in the early part of the day for some volatility. But right now it's holding up fine. Lionsgate Films, LGF is a ticker symbol. This is holding up pretty well, trading up a little bit. Strong name. It's overbought here, but it trades to around 37 or so. So we'll watch that one as well. I do have some gap plays coming up for a few other stocks. I will post those up in the chat room at 9 a.m. Looking over at oil today, let's take a look at the all-important USO. You're going to see USO is getting a little bit of a bid. That's nearing $37 a share. If we take a look at light sweet crude this morning, I believe we have light sweet crude trading up 43 cents to 103.82 a barrel. Gold this morning is down $1 to 13.09. Gold had a stellar morning yesterday. Yesterday, gold had a big surge. Pretty solid move. This morning, the GLD is trading at 126.74. No damage there and holding steady. Looking over at the U.S. dollar index, that is ticking up about 5 cents this morning, just above the 81 level. We'll see if it can hold 81 or does it break through, and we'll see where that plays out. Futures have slipped a little bit here since we started this broadcast, now down about 5.5 points. But let me just show you why very easily. You can just look at the dollar-yen chart. Dollar-yen chart is really the dictator of movement right now. And you can take a look at the dollar-yen chart. You can see that has fallen. This goes lower. Stock market usually follows, except in the light volume part of the day. All right, I'm going to leave it there, everybody. Have a great trading day. We'll see you on the charts. And if we don't, have a great weekend.